Benjamin 528, aka MC Spookism. You see who I got here? The Baba, Taj Tarik Bey. You already know karmic, cause and effect. I want you to go into that, brother. No holds bar,
Yes.
uninterrupted. I'll be right back. Do your thing.
All right.
Come on,
One of the
baby.
things
There you
that that I want everyone to know is, of course, 90% of the things that we talk about are in the nature of resolution and fixing things or dealing with cause and effect. For every effect, there's cause. And one of the things that our people need to know about and comprehend is that law and history goes together. It's a known fact, but often not taught to the people by persons who have title. When I say persons who have title, I'm making reference to men and women who have scholarship, who are teachers, professors, imams, rabbis, ministers, bishops, priests, PhDs, Masons, Eastern Stars, Knights of Malta, Knights Columbus, Kaiklos, Ku Klux Klan, on and on and on, all of your, what you would call Privy Council orders. Know this for surety, that all persons having titles that belong to the people, that in one manner or another project information and activities in the name of servicing the people, are essentially Gnostics and they're adepts. One of the most important and grievous things that I recognize that gets a lot of people upset with me is that I don't play the game with those persons. And I pretty much take the position that the birthright and knowledge belongs to the people at large. It's not the possession of persons just because they have some title or label of governorship, i.e. that take the position that they are privileged or an elite class. Where humanity has a right to a knowledge of the family of man from birth, not from some political decision made by persons who are claiming to be the grand poobah priest.
Okay, I guess we're back, right? So you can continue, sir.
Yeah. And so I want you to remember these things, and it has to do with the best way to begin to protect. It's not that you can do it, people can do it for themselves. Yeah, but protect the people from corruption of persons who claim to be the leader guys and leader girls is to teach them the fundamental rules of operations, minimally anyway, although it goes deeper and more extensive than what I'm presenting. These are basic tools that are useful to anyone, and that is study maxims of ethics, maxims of law, constitutional principles, and understand constitutional principles as a fundamental rule of operations to navigate by. Is not only inclusive of what is called legislated agreements on maxims of law for governing human family, what you might call nation states, etc. But also,
Elias, go for it.
And so we're talking about fundamental maxims, and maxims of law are fundamentally, as an example, the Hermetic laws. And those are 7 fundamental rules of phenomena on how things operate in this particular venue that we call Gaia or Earth, and in nature, etc. And understand that all scholars are aware of this, and all persons who deal with philosophies or what they're calling the masses, what they're claiming religion is, and understand that the truth is that the masses don't get religion. The masses get dogma for control purposes, and that mind control systems are called religion, but are in fact not. No different than the masses in general, particularly in North America, have never been paid for generations, but they're told they're paid when they're given private commercial paper that's falsely called money, and yet the people refer to it as money, which of course is fiat, but actually is private commercial paper and actually debt notes. Now these are facts, and just like that, as an example, is the same dynamics that is dealt with the dogma, mind control systems that have been presented to the masses as religion. And understand that people who project these things themselves in their real private lives don't accept what they themselves are telling the masses. It's not that they don't accept it from a business point of view, yes, because it's business. No different than a miner uses a shovel to dig up mud and to filter it out and get stones and jewels and gold out of it and then toss the dirt away, called dross. This is pretty much what they do with people in general, in the name of religion, who are generally referred to as believers, who are really the dross used by the priesthood to extract their wealth and extract their energy and to extract their service and to extract goods, material goods from them, while pretending to be teaching them spirituality. And I want to make this note to you that spirituality is actually the art of breath and breathing. What is religion is Gnostic philosophies and Kabbalistic and Hermetic law, study of the workings of nature, cosmology, astrology, etc. is really religion universally. And the study of the transits of the sun, its relationship to the earth planet, the growth patterns of both the human life and species and of plant life, etc., and other kingdoms of life on the planet. That's the study of those dynamics is really religion. And the recording of those and the cause and effect activity really makes up the moral and ethical philosophies that are presented in the moral stories of what we're calling religion. But again, the masses don't really get the science. They get ritualistic dogmata. And this way the priesthood can control them and fleece them just like they fleece sheep, which is why they refer to themselves as pastors. They're pastoring the sheeple, and the sheeple are the food for them. And the sheeple are always cold and everyone else has a cashmere sweater, if you get the whole point. But cutting through the chase, as far as the politics that takes place actually in North America and filtered out upon the rest of the world, that they may loosely refer to as the Western world, which is under European colonial occupation and unum sanctum policy and doctrine of discovery policy, in order for the priesthood to aid the Roman operators in the administrating over occupied Aboriginal peoples, they present for the unlearned the simple phrase of racism to hide the fact that the people are actually suffering under colonial operations. And to keep them distracted, they pay persons who they designate as quote unquote persons of color, which means artificial persons, to administer over the local activities of the people to keep them distracted from reality. And these persons are rewarded with certain degrees of or what you call accounts, which will be numerated, and they're one of them amongst other methodologies for the trade-off and control. It's called a 501c3 agreement, and this is where the so-called leaders that call human beings crayons, green people and purple people, doesn't matter what color you are, type stuff, which makes the people non-descendable in law, mind you. They're paid to keep that paradigm going and running around talking about racism. Race is the human species. Get that very clear in your head. And the human family is expanded into natal political jurisdictions, which are called nation states. And so the human family has nationalities, and they have flags, or what is called vixillum, that's the area of study, that represent the motherland of the different offspring of the mothers of the earth, which are called nationalities. But racism is to keep people who are under mind control from discussing issues of nationality, because within the issue of the nation states, in order to preserve or to make right of claim on the resources of the land, the universal rule of preserving that and the integrity of that, the right or divine right of the use of the resources of different territories, the exercise of the powers of the sovereign of the nation states is called nationality and nationalizing. As an example, you will see this take place in different areas of the world over a period of time, as an example, so that you can have a comprehension of what nationalization is. As an example, when nation states may be under infiltration or subversion by outside parties or persons who are subverting a nation state and draining its resources for the purposes of waging what you would call indirect, but yet though direct, war on the people by draining their resources, the obligation of the sovereign of the state is to nationalize the resources of the people, starting with identifying the people of the nation state and then reclaiming the estates of the natural people, distinguished from foreigners who may be occupying or doing business or in some other manner influencing the economics and the transference of resources in any particular nation states. As an example, there was a double agent that was trained in Texas years ago, who, upon being placed by Europeans who've been occupying North America, he was placed in Isabela, which you call Cuba, years ago to quell down some confusion that was going on by one of their dictators' implants named Batista. And that trained agent was named Fidel Castro. And to save, or to attempt to save, or to preserve some of the integrity of the people of the land of Cuba, Castro nationalized Cuba. And with some deep study, you can find a little more up about that on your own, distinguished from what they tell you in the school books. The same thing goes with Hugo Chavez in relationship to Venezuela, who was being raped by Europeans who operate from Wall Street through hedge funds, who were robbing the people of the land for quite some time and still been doing it, actually. And he nationalized Venezuela. Same thing occurred in earlier years with a man named Adolf Hitler, whereas Germany, after the Treaty of Versailles, could not have a standing army, was besieged by persons claiming to be someone that they're not, and was raping the country, and Hitler nationalized Germany. So we're not going into the details of these men on one point or another, but to make point on what nationalization is on a political scale for people who are besieged by another people who are not of the land, etc. So that's important for you to know. And the other issue is to understand and comprehend one of the other fallacies that have been promoted in North America against.
Hold on. Hit the damn like button. I don't know why every time I gotta come on here, give y'all information that y'all know y'all ain't getting nowhere else, and I gotta come on and say hit the like button. Where's my moderators at? Where is my moderators at? Hit the damn like button, people. Or else, if you don't want this stream, we could just take it off. I'm not playing these type of games. Show the bro. There you go. Get them likes up. Y'all like the information y'all getting? Press 1. I want to see them ones. If you like the info you getting, press 1. I'll give y'all time, because the brother is dropping heavy information. That's right. Look at all them ones. Keep them coming. All right. Those who haven't hit the like button, hit the like button now. We ain't playing them games today. Because he could have been anywhere else, but he here. And don't be shy with the super chat either, people. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic audience. Y'all know how it is. Back and forth doing all this stuff. Plus taking care of the baby. Taj, you know. He's playing with her. Look at all them ones. You see? So y'all need to show and support this information. One of the things I heard you saying before, I want you to touch on the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Why was he assassinated?
Now, this must be clear to everyone, and particularly the Asiatics, i.e. Aboriginal people of North America, Central America, South America, and the adjoining islands, who are all the true Americans. Be very clear that America is not a country. America is a continent, large continent that spans from the northern hemisphere of the planet Earth to the center of the equator, to the southern hemisphere of the planet Earth. That's America. And the Aboriginal people of the land are Almaraccans, or what you call Americans, etc. Now, it must be important for people to know, for starters, and I'll brief this so that you can do some research and double check for yourself. And you're going to have to do some studying. Understand that people who have this information, many people who have this information are paid not to tell you this information. Many people who have this information take death oaths to popes of Rome not to reveal this information because it will tear down institutions, etc., that have been robbing you. Understand that. And that there are people that's been looking you straight in your eye every day that knew this information and do know this information and will pretend that it's out to lunch information or that it's wrong or that it's misleading or that it's BS, when in truth they know it is the truth. So I'll present this to you. Prove me wrong. Don't accept what I say. Do some research. I'm talking about serious research, and prove me wrong. Now, as an example, George Washington, operating at North America, he's an Englishman. He's not American. He's an Englishman who was appointed to the United States Service Corporation company that's in treaty with the Moroccan Empire, operating at the Maghreb. And the Maghreb is Morocco, the most extreme west, i.e. North America, which is referred to in all of your secret societies as the North Gate. And the Europeans in all of the secret societies, whether they're Knights of Malta, which every president for the United States Service Corporation is a member of Knights of Malta, or Knights Templar, Shriners, Master Mason, in your higher degrees, etc., all refer to themselves as keepers of the North Gate. So let's get that out of the way immediately. And for the so-called leader guys that are assigned as overseers, for such persons who are deemed as property, and they will be classified as persons of color, which means artificial person. Doesn't mean a living human being, it means artificial persons, which is really a designation for stock. And that stock was set up right after what they're calling the Civil War, which was actually an operation of commercial mercenaries at North America to overthrow the Republic under the secret Treaty of Verona, and of which all members of the Bar Association of England and operating at North America as foreign agents is their mission to overthrow the Republic while pretending to deal with constitutional issues, which is another thing that our people need to comprehend and have a clear understanding on, so they can be clear as to why our people continue to have economic and political problems in spite of all of the marching, praying efforts that they're led to do by persons who are designated and assigned as their leader guys and leader girls, etc. So coming up to Abraham Lincoln, and for those of you who can read, and I know a lot of people are scared of books because what they're calling their religious beliefs don't deal with facts, it only deals with beliefs. But for the few of you who do read and do some research, I want you to do some research into the operations of the United States Service Corporation Company, registered in France, 1754 by Benjamin Franklin. And understand that Abraham Lincoln was run on that political platform because he could not, according to the nobility clause for the original organic United States Constitution principle that is derived from Muslim law, which Obama exposed to you, and he's Kenyan, etc., and he's a constitutional lawyer. And for those of you who are not afraid of information, or who are not COINTELPRO operatives or compromised, who really look for truth, you will find that Obama showed the people in the world the true Al-Moroccan flag. You'll see him coming through double doors, which represent the higher and the lower self. And that deals with the cosmological nature of true religious study, of cause and effect in the politics. And also you will see Michelle Obama wearing a red dress, etc. These are symbolic, but nothing is done without due cause of a message. And then you'll see the guard standing to the left of President Obama at the doorway, standing due guard. In the position that he's standing in is called due guard, and he has the Al-Moroccan flag. And that is your red flag with the 5-pointed green star in the center. And understand the stars and stripes that they show you is a trading banner of amity and commerce. It is not the national flag. These are fundamental facts that are known by all scholars, but are not told to the general public. The general public are considered food. And yes, they are. And as far as their leader guys are concerned, and the politicians and the priesthood concerned, they're referred to in private as useless eaters. While in public, they pretend that they love you so much. And they got you marching all over the place for rights and etc., while never teaching you the issue of birthrights. They'll run around talking about this nation, that nation, nation of this, nation of that, and then fail to teach you about nationality, which is an absolute contradiction. But it does keep the people busy. Now let's talk about the real politics. Abraham Lincoln, when it came to his administration, and by the way, George Washington was the 9th president. He was not the first. John Hanson was the first president, 1781. Do some research. When it came to Abraham Lincoln's administration, as you know, and particularly those who are leader guys and leader girls who already know it, although they have oaths not to tell their followers this information, know that a member of the Bar Association could not lawfully hold a position or public office in the United States on its platform, because it's in treaty with the Moroccan Empire, and it's against fatwa, or what you call Muslim law. And this is due to the fact that what is known as and do this research, the Circle Church in London, and the Chancel, that's CHANCEL. This is known by all scholars, all heads of all industry, all politicians, all congressmen, all mayors, all governors of the different corporate state entities, all of whom are secret members of what is known as the Roman Curia. Write that down and don't forget it. And these things are very important because the common people whom this information is always held back from can have a better bar by which to measure persons who keep approaching them, asking them for $2 in the name of the Lord's in order to talk about their freedoms and liberties and other things, etc. So this is very important. So let's get to the Abraham Lincoln administration. Abraham Lincoln, because he could not run on the organic platform for the organic states of the Republic, he was run on the United States Service Corporation Company's platform that was registered in France. And because he was a member of the bar, that platform that was promised the 19 enumerated powers that gave him operative powers over the finances. However, it was imposed upon him to use the finances of the bankers of England under the secret Treaty of Verona and the chancel order of the Circle Church, etc., which is really the bankers of England plus the Bar Association members together that actually make up what is called the Circle Church, etc. And that is also referred to as, quote unquote, the crown. And most people only think about the Queen of England when they think about the crown, but they need to think about the Circle Church and the chancel, to which all the bankers.
Hold it right there, Taj. Because these people think I'm playing. I don't know why we have so many people in the chat right now, and y'all ain't hitting that like button. That's number one.
Like.
I'm not. Hit that like button. You like the information. You haven't hit the like button yet. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Because we could just end this right now. I'm tired of coming on here and show this man some respect on my channel. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Because I know people like the information they've been getting. So, if you like the information, let me see y'all hit those ones. Let's see. I want to see something. Hit one if y'all like the information or you want Taj Tarik Bey to continue. Hit one.
Yo.
Yeah, y'all quick on the draw. All right, hit
You should
one.
get some of the haters on here that ask us crazy questions.
Nah, no. To hell with the haters. This is for the lovers out there.
No.
We gonna
But you
deal
know,
with the
they're
people.
gonna be watching.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, them goddamn Moors.
Oh yeah, the Moors.
Oh, he's
is
a
in the
Moor
house.
too, y'all. I want to let y'all know
The
that.
Moors are in the house. There we go. I see those numbers of likes pick back up because I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. I was gonna end out the stream. I made sure I didn't
He roasted
interrupt
me.
the man.
He roasted
I
me,
let him
man.
go through. Show that respect. Hit the like buttons if you haven't hit the like button already. Look at all them ones. Come on now, stop playing. Yeah, I know y'all hypnotized by the information. Y'all love y'all absorbing it, but hit that damn like button. I shouldn't have to come and interrupt just to tell y'all that. Continue, sir.
Again,
Good money, boy.
for
I need
those
to get Joel
of
my
you who are not afraid of information, and those of you who are not COINTELPRO operatives, I want you to research the William Dungy case that Lincoln did 5 years before he was president, and this is what you will see. Do the research. Now, I want to remind you that the so-called knowledgeable persons claim to be conscious community who are always operating at trolls have this information too, but they're paid not to show it to you because it will prove to you that they've been lying and that they've been part of the problem of holding up our people. And they don't want you to find that out because you might, they might be some of the people hanging from the nearest light pole if the people really knew the people amongst them that has really been problematic, which is why sometimes the Europeans will get frustrated and say, why don't you leave us alone and stop complaining and go to your black nigger leaders who keep selling you all back into slavery. When you do some real research, you're going to find out that a lot of the Europeans have been telling you the truth all the time, while you thinking that they have only been the enemies. You'll find that the trolls amongst you are the enemies. Furthermore, these are the corporate papers for the United States Service Corporation that your black leaders have been telling you as a country. There it is. That's the number. And that's the last of its registration. You see 1925. You see 7/15/1925. You see Articles of Incorporation, United States Service Corporation. Now, your so-called black troll leaders will stay away from this information. They don't want you to find this information. That's why you'll see them paid by, they have the CIA has a 6-point budget. And one of those points is to pay so-called black leader guys, whether they're conscious Moors or not, to always try to block this information or to always try to distort anyone who starts teaching you constitutional principles. That's their payoff. That's their job, to keep you under them Christian black codes so they can get paid. However, I suggest to you to do some research on your own. Start liberating yourself and liberating your family. Don't accept what I say. Prove me wrong. But I'm giving you references so that you can find it yourself, etc. But again, Lincoln was run on the platform of the United States Service Corporation And upon recognizing that they were actually using him to undermine the Republic in accord with the secret Treaty of Verona, of which all of the European corporate members are members of, Lincoln bankrupted the United States Service Corporation Company, not a country, United States Service Corporation Company in 1860. In 1861, the Congress for the Organic United States of America rebelled and did a coup d'etat. And they will teach persons who are designated as persons of color, which means artificial person, told them that the Congress for the United States adjourned sine die, when in fact it was a coup d'etat. And so they plotted to murder Abraham Lincoln because he was also presenting bills for the Congress to consider on restoring some of the integrity to the people of the land. And this has much to do with what you hear loosely by some people, but they don't go deep into the information when you hear about the issues of the 40 acres and a mule that your great grandparents, mothers and fathers never got. But your so-called nigger preacher leaders got paid off, though. That's why they don't get into this kind of information to teach you about nationality and birthright, because you must be an heir to the estate to receive the estate. This is, again, why they branded Moors, Negroes, Black, Coloreds, Indians, Latinos, West Indians, in order to disconnect you from obligations on their part to uphold constitutional principles and treaties relative to the cause and effect in the political forum. And this has much to do why they constantly misrepresent what nationality is and try to act like it's a lunchbox issue, because the Negro leader platform will collapse also when these people find out that most of them are overseers and COINTELPRO. And for those of you who may be confused about that, go look up the FBI papers and the infiltration of all so-called African organizations in North America. And also look up the redacted information on the infiltration of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, or i.e. the Moorish Science Temple of America, for those amongst our people who betrayed Prophet Noble Drew Ali, too. This is another reason why they don't want this information out, because a lot of them traitors are still around. And to your injury, in case you all didn't know that. And it has nothing to do with what you believe or what you don't believe. It has to do with your pedigree, birthright, and inheritances, too. So this is another reason why they suppress this information. But anyway, in 1860, Abraham Lincoln bankrupted the United States Service Corporation platform upon which he was run. The Congress adjourned sine die. That's what's given to the public, to the dummies, or people who can't read, or people who won't read. But all people in secret societies and all politicians, all of them, that includes your local politicians who are called congressmen and congresswomen and councilwomen and councilmen, etc., and the mayors of the cities, etc., because all of them know that they've been running these cities under the unum sanctum policy and under the doctrine of discovery, and enforcing it with organized Europeans that organized at New York, which was actually New Amsterdam. And the organization was called the Gangs of New York. And those are European vigilantes who came in contract with the owners of the United States Service Corporation to help disinherit the Aboriginal people of the land. And they call us Indians, but we're not Indians. North America's not India either. And the Gangs of New York made contracts with the United States Service Corporation owners, and they now call themselves policemen, etc. And they're the largest armed gang in the world. And this is one of the reasons why you see a lot of the abuses, or what you call domestic terrorism, that they've been waging against the people to help steal their properties, etc., and also to send them to the private POW camps, which they call prisons, etc. They are really POW camps under unum sanctum policy. To distract you, they pay so-called black leaders, whether they claim to be conscious or not. They promote what they call racism, which is a distraction. Race is the human species. The human species is expanded into extended families, which are called nations and nationalities, and they have international law to deal with those matters, constitutions and treaties, which should be studied by and enforced by the people. But this is why you see so-called black leader guys will stay away from that kind of information because it will expose them as overseers. And they don't want people to know that they've been working for Rome all the time, etc. Because they know that human beings are not crayons. They know that human beings have nationalities on Earth planet. That's not an insult, and it's not against anyone's belief. That's the nature of politics on the planet. And when you're outside of that platform, you have no protections by the international community. This has much to do with all the problems that our people have in North America, thinking that human beings are crayons. Now, so 1860, Abraham Lincoln bankrupted the United States Service Corporation. The plot was arisen by the members of the Congress, which went defunct March the 27th in 1861. It was a coup d'etat, and they set up a kingship oligarchy for themselves.
That's it.
No more.
Peace.
Because I told no, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet.
I'm
Where you
going.
going?
I gotta go
Stay right
anyway.
here. Because I told y'all I wasn't playing. Too much y'all in here, and y'all didn't hit that like button. So this is what I'm about to do right now. Please give out your information for the people, like if any type of your classes. and how to
Oh, we
contact-
could
'cause
do
we gonna wrap
classes
this up.
mostly in Delaware, every Friday of the month in 602 Vandiver Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, from 6:30 to 10 o'clock. Also, we give classes,
6:30 a.m. or
yes, p.m.
6:30 p.m.
Yeah,
to
to 10 o'clock.
10 p.m.
Yeah, Wilmington, territory, Delaware Republic, 602 Vandiver, and you can also, you can also look out for Dr. Naila Gilliam's sites and her notices. She's a writer, a former pastor, a scholar in her own right, etc. And she maintains the integrity of that class for information to be given in a universal platform for people's development, etc., and for the helping in the great missionary work of uplifting fallen humanity. And also, Brother Tarik Bey maintains the roundtable classes at 5325 Old York Road, Philadelphia. And that's on usually 2 Saturdays a month, and he will let you know when there's a variable, and that would be from 12 o'clock to 4 on Saturdays, right? And that'd be usually twice a month, and you start keeping up with that. And that's where we make sure that this information is given to people, because while many people have this information because it liberates people, many people who have it will not dispense this information, because what happens is that there's one thing when you're trying to liberate people, and there's another thing when you're just looking for bill payers and followers. We don't promote followership. We promote people to start leading their lives and start liberating their family. And so we deal with facts and information, not with belief systems. We know that people have beliefs. They have a right to whatever they want to believe. That's private, just like your dirty underwear. However, knowledge is universal and it belongs to everyone. And when you're going to solve problems, you're going to have to deal with facts and not beliefs. And with that, I'm going to let you go for the time being. And I want to thank Brother Joel for the moment that we're sharing here at Nichols Bookstore in Brooklyn. And we trust to do this again.
You're welcome. Oh yeah, we
right.
definitely gonna do it again. Let me say this. We have the Instagram, Joel Benjamin 528 on Instagram. You'll see a clip of Taj tearing it up. He's no joke. All right, and Nicholas BK on Instagram. If you haven't already, do that. I'm going to bring some. Oh yeah, go ahead. Cafunia Star Rebel.
Cafunia Star Rebel.
Cafunia Star Rebel on Instagram. Grizzy. All right.
Lizzie.
Yeah, Cafunia back here. She hip too bad, So yeah, Taj, it's always a pleasure to having you.
Thank you.
Right on,
We
good brother.
have the Baba here. You see the guy that was on here yesterday, Hannibal. that y'all love so much. This
Yeah,
is
that's
his
my
father.
son. Yeah.
The man that he said he learned a lot of the information from. That's this man right here. All right, Taj Tarik Bey. So we're not playing no games. We're gonna bring you more. Nicholas Brooklyn and Kafunya. What's your the company name for you?
Crystals for everydayliving.com.
Sound like you forgot. Crystals for
didn't.
everydayliving.com.
Right on.
All right. Peace.
We're gonna
Peace.
pause because Dr. Cobb is coming up, right?
Oh, I didn't want them to hear that. Thanks a lot,
Oh,
Kafunya.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. If they be good, I might give them the next one. Peace.
Peace.